Finally, we're ready. So welcome to the showcasing of project of fourth year Masipag. Palakpakan naman tayo. Mga masipag yung lahat ng mga estudyante dito. So our first group is ready. And then after the first group, you may ask questions for 5 minutes, okay? Or suggestions. So our first presenter is our project, travel project.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I know you're also excited to present your output, but we would like to ask for your time, okay, as we're going to begin our presentation. So we are going to present a travel project on parang a travel, okay? So we're going to showcase the beauty of Siargao. So here it goes.
Siargao is a teardrop-shaped island in the Philippine Sea situated in the province of Surigao del Norte. The coastline is marked by a succession of reefs, small points, and white sandy beaches. Siargao Island is greatly influenced by the winds and currents coming uninterrupted from the Pacific Ocean. Moreover, foreigners flocked in Siargao not only for its groundbreaking waves, but also for its abundant aquatic marine life. Annually, there is an international game fishing competition where people around the world would do their best to catch the biggest and healthiest fish around. Here in Siargao, we also boast our majestic rock formation. This one is called Magpupungko Rock Formations with its crystal clear water. For island hopping enthusiasts, you can also enjoy the varied islets that surround Siargao. Moreover, you can also plunge yourself into the sandy white beaches and enjoy the sun setting at dusk. And for those who like to explore in caves, we also have Suhutan Cave, which is only passable during low tide. You can also swim with the English jellyfish in their jellyfish sanctuary. And for those who value biodiversity, they also have a vast area for the mangroves. And for those who love to eat, you can also have a taste of the exotic and mouth-watering seafood cuisines and delicious delicacies by the Surigaonans. So come and stay in Siargao, where you will be accommodated by its resorts and hotels that would suit your budget. Experience the people, the culture, the waves. Dali na sa Siargao!
The video has encapsulated everything, so we are highly encouraging you to come and stay in Siargao. To our tourism officer, you have seen how beautiful the island is and how it would be an unforgettable experience, not only for you, but also to the tourists, to travelers around the Philippines to come and visit Siargao. You cannot aside from its beautiful beaches, you can also experience its people, its culture, and how it feels like to be part of the Philippine, to take part in our nation building and be a proud Pinoy. Okay, and thank you so much, and I hope you contact Sir John. Sir John is from Siargao, and we are inspired by his story of his native town. Thank you, Sir John.
Okay, good afternoon. So I am the tourism officer. Well, actually, wow, congratulations. It's really, really very nice to go to Siargao, especially that I haven't gone there yet. Well, what you have shown, what you have showcased, displays the different, fantastic, and wonderful things that we're going to see when we go to Siargao. So indeed, it will really catch the attention of tourists and visitors who would like to go to Siargao. But one thing, well, probably it could be another, I'm talking about some sort of a travel advisory. How are we going to reach Siargao? Especially that, asan na si ma'am? Sabi niya, okay.
We actually recorded a portion of that, ma'am, but since we are press of time, I think Sir John was unable to include it in the video. But we
Okay.
included that one. You can access the place by by air or by sea, and it was
Okay.
not included. We're so sorry for that, ma'am.
Okay, and I think, yeah, there was the mention of where to stay. Because that's one very important thing. If we go to a place new to us, we have to find a place which we can call our home. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am the principal of this school. Ano ba yung pangalan ng school na yon? I forget. Okay, so I would like to congratulate first the students and especially the teacher. Hindi nasasayang yung 4 na araw na nawala ka sa klase mo para mag-attend ng ng InfoTeach training sa Los Baños. So maganda yung nagawa ninyo, mga bata. Kahit ako hindi pa ako nakapunta doon sa Siargao, I am planning to do that with my family. And tanong ko lang, what's your next plan after this presentation that you've done? Siguro we can ask the assistance of the yung tourism officer natin na siguro kausapin niya yung mayor to. Are you not planning to have a website for this Siargao tourism?
We are actually doing our best to
so
link with local government unit as well as private institutions, schools, especially universities, and the local. Okay, because we believe that it would really boost their identity as Siargaonons and as one people.
Okay, thank you so much. So, this coming March, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, honor kayong lahat. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Okay, thank you for that group for travel. So, for our guest, the group will have to include a travel advisory. Please research on travel advisory. And then, since the tourism officer is interested to publish your video, please make sure that all your video where you have, those are original video that you took, okay? Because they want to publish your video as one of the material for promoting Siargao, okay? Thank you very much, Group 1. So let's move on to Group 2.
Good afternoon to everyone. So to be honest, we felt nervous because of the Group 1 presentation. So that in our mind, so we put this question that we need to, still to continue in our presentation. I think the Group 1 is enough. But we will try our best to present our presentation. So in our case, we plan to have this kind of business plan. We called it the Lawaan Amusement Park. Okay? So that is the name of our park. So the Lawaan Amusement Park. So it is located at Barangay Lawaan, obviously, at Rojas City. So why we need to choose the Lawaan, Barangay Lawaan at the Rojas City? So if we look at the geographical area of the Rojas City, so it is near to the provinces that popularly known not only in the Philippines but even in the world, like Aklan, because you look at the Boracay, diba? The Iloilo, not just at they are known as the city of football. Even the pipa came from that provinces and the historical value of that, and even the other provinces around the Rojas City. So that are the challenges in our team. To do we still convince the government of the Rojas City and the corporate business company to invest in our amusement park. So before to plan of it, so we try to have this kind of survey. So we survey the people of the Lawaan, Barangay Lawaan. So this is the example of our survey form that we conduct in Barangay Lawaan. So if you notice, so we have a rating scale, and some of the questions that you see on the survey form. And these are the result of the survey that we conduct. So we divided the respondents into as the target market. Okay, so we classify this. So the children that is 12 years old and below. So the teenager, 13 to 19. We have young ones, which is 20 to 39. And the young adult, that is 40 to 59 years old, and the senior citizen, 60 and above. So you will also see the number of population in that barangay and the percentage that approve this business proposal. So these are the people who approve our business proposal. And the question is, why we choose Barangay Lawan as our target place? So this is a very challenging for us. So this is the example flyer on how we market this Lawaan Amusement Park. So we look at the marketing strategy in this business. So these are the example events that you will see in the Lawaan Amusement Park. So we have here.
The flying boat. That is the flying boat. Okay, so you can enjoy this. We also opted to choose Lawaan as the site because we have to eradicate the image of Rojas City, particularly Capiz. So yung Capiz kasi sikat siya sa aswang. So we plan to have the amusement park so that the image will be changed. And so we have the seafood stations for those who are fun in eating some delicious and healthy foods. We have the mascot parade. Ayan, yung mga mascots namin. So we also we have the massage and spa. For the parents, kung pagod na sila, so pwede sila magpa-massage and naturally, while waiting for their children, so yan yung spa, massage. Okay. So, yun po yung aming park, amusement park sa Lawaan, Rojas City. So we are encouraging our local government units to support our endeavor.
Okay, our guest here, a developer from Lawaan, is here with us. And we also have our mayor, our congressman, and the cafe.
Good afternoon to everyone, especially to our students who have just presented the amusement park, the proposed amusement park. No, modesty aside, I have a net financing capacity of 120 billion, no, which is I believe very enough, no, to finance that amusement park. Now, if ever that park will be developed, no, in Lawaan, Roa City. However, I have a question to our students. No, what makes your amusement park different from the usual parks that that we know or that are existing nowadays?
Sir, first we challenge to the image of the Capiz City. That's why the big words in preparing this is promoting and transforming of Capiz City. So for that, so we look for the survey that came from the needed of the indigenous people of Capiz. And in our concept, we try to look at it as the prepared idea or a leisure park that prepared to the people of the Capiz. And especially they are promoting not only the amusement park but the Capiz itself. Okay. And that's why our big word for this is the exploring of the Capiz City.
Thank you. The next question is, how can you assure me that, because as an investor, I always think of ROI. If ever I will invest, then what assurance can you give to me that there will be a return of investment?
My student to answer that question. They need to work more on that. They still need to interview on how to make the budget of.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, I-
What about our visitor, our leaders? So we have our mayor.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, being the mayor, I have only two comment on that presentation. Number one, if you are going to present this, the map should be clear, including the name of the places, then if if possible, you should you can the map from the local government itself. They have their clear map. Then another that should be all the maps that you can put that you will put there should be viewed properly. Then another is the with regards to target market. If the target market, it shows there that most of the clients there are children. So the park should be designed more on fun rides, mga children, yung mga gusto ng mga children. Dahil ang children, those children are the one who will ask their money from their parents. Then so kahit sa yung mga adult, they bring their children. So as much as possible, it should be designed more for the children. Though some you have to put their facilities for adults. But then, as you can see the data, the most participant from that places are children. And another, the streamer or the flyers that you will produce must be not so yung parang maraming mga iba't ibang kulay na sometimes yung mga pwede nating bigyan is that serves as parang nakakaano na yung ibang mga kulay na hindi nila ay possible lang yung 2-3 colors na parang tawag dyan yung green, light green, tapos dark green, mga ganyan lang. Kasi yung iba't ibang kulay, most of the time, yung ibang binibigyan natin yan, kahit na sa pagdining na nila, okay, parang ordinary lang eh. Pero pag parang ang design ay elegant, mayroong yung tinatawag na sense of simplicity, elegance, tinitingnan yan. Nilalagay yan sa bag. Pero yung ibang mga, parang maraming kulay, saan niya nilalagay? Minsan sa bulsa, pero nakatupi na yun. Sayang yung printing nyo. So, that's all as me. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for presenting the project, your project proposal. I have some questions to be clarified upon. Who will benefit the most out from your project? Children. If where's the location? Is it in my barangay or in the municipality? Barangay Lawaan. So if it is in my barangay, Is there a need for an additional equipment, or what's the funding source? And the sharing. So you have to consider it in the proposal. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the last group. Last group.
Good morning to everyone. I thought you are sleeping right now. So again, good morning. Ako na yung nagkamali. Good afternoon to everyone. We will be presenting to you a unique project that talks about a certain situation and how to solve this situation. And of course, before we start with our presentation, may I request my colleagues, our PIO of the project, to render us a song in memory of the victims of the previous floods and the previous typhoon.
Okay, this song is dedicated to those who were heavily affected by the past typhoons. Left and right, but even winners can get wounded in the fight. People say that I'm amazing, strong beyond my years, but they don't see inside of me, hiding all the tears. They don't know that I come running home when I fall down. They don't know who picks me up when no one is around. I drop my soul, cry for just a while. 'Cause deep inside this sorrow, your ways a child. Unafraid because his armor is the best, but even soldiers need a quiet place to rest. People say that I'm amazing, I never face retreat, but they don't see the enemies that lay me at his feet. They don't know that I come running home when I fall down. They don't know who picks me up when no one is around. I drop my soul, cry for just a while. 'Cause deep inside this sorrow, the warrior is a child. They don't know that I come running home when I fall down. They don't know who picks me up when no one is around. Drop my sword and look up for his smile. 'Cause deep inside this sorrow, deep inside this heart moon. Deep inside this heart moon. The want your best, I try. Thank you.
Wow, what a wonderful voice. Really, sir, love music. I also love music, but music doesn't love me. Okay, so I want you to say baha. You continue, baha. Okay, again, baha. Okay, now in real scenario, we notice that how will you be amused in the park? If my, okay, very good. And then, how will you go to Siargao? If my, okay. This is just a real scenario. Not just a real scenario, di ba? Okay, so we will be presenting to you Baha, yes, of course. And we are talking about our different, my colleagues. We are talking last night, baha mo, baha ko, baha nating lahat. Di ba? It's a problem nowadays. So, sir, may I? Okay, so we have here created a multimedia with the use of presentation or the PowerPoint talking about flood management. And this is just not an ordinary PowerPoint because this is an interactive. When we say interactive, marami ang kailangan. And of course, user-friendly. And one thing what we did is the hyperlink, especially to the officer of the different agencies. So, sir? Nabaha na yung presentation namin. Okay, sir. In our presentation, we have here different tabs. This is composed of different tabs with, of course, with different links. If we are going to click on the flood define, this actually helps not only me, as our project or our organization, but also the different government agency to disseminate for an information drive for the certain locality or a certain barangay or municipality. Talagang binabaha. Baka mag-request kayong kakanta ako, hindi ako kakanta. Okay, so the content of the tab is all about floods. The definition, sir, go over. Introduction about flooding. What is flood? The definition, of course. Next, sir. The causes of flooding. Actually, there are different causes of floods, sir. And then the types of flood. And of course, the areas. And as you go over with your PowerPoint or the presentation, it will, once you click home, sir, kindly click home, you will be going back to the interface. Talagang gumana. Okay. So that is the next tab. The effects of flooding, the environment, talking about environment. Of course, as you go over at the last presentation, sir, last slide, you will notice that in every slide, meron siyang home, wherein you will be going back to the interface. So it's a technical error, but actually in our laptops, it's working. Maybe the links, okay. And then as you go over with another tabs, so we have here our layout artist and as well as the project designer. So we have here now the data. Once you click the tab referring to the prevention, I mean the casualties, you will see, and we are referring to, we are only gathering, we get some information in a certain common municipality na binabaha, especially Metro Manila. So this is our basis. If you're going to look at this, the information in the data, referring to the two typhoon, you will see how many lives ang nawala during that typhoon. And of course, you will see the money wasted during the typhoon, including baha. And of course, also, can you move it upward, sir? We have also here the concerned agencies, and that refers to our visitors. Once you click the concerned agency, it will be searching. Nakalabot lagi dyan. So you will notice that there are different URL, or known as the address, that you may click if you wish to visit Project NOAA, especially for the people in the community, DOST, of course, Pag-asa, to be updated with the weather, and of course, kung walang pasok, mga estudyante. And lastly, bakit sinali namin yung DSWD? Siyempre, kung a certain family na wala na sila ng tinatawag nating mga titirhan, or yung anak nila naulila na dahil namatay sa bahay yung mga magulang, doon pupunta sa DSWD. Okay. So that is with regards to our project. Actually, the project is very good. But if we are just given an ample time, we'll be finishing this one more presentable than this one. And of course, meron pala kami nakalimutan, sir. Yung poster, sir. It is on the prevention. Kindly click. Now, if the community wants to print information regarding how to manage the drills, the managing of floods, how we are going to be aware with the floods, nandyan yan sa prevention. Once you click the prevention, it will go directly to the word flyers ready to be printed. Okay, that would be all, I think. So I have here my colleagues to answer.
In behalf of Chairman Richard Gordon of Red Cross, good afternoon to everyone. Ayan. I have learned that in disaster management or reduction, we have this equation. Let me read it. Disaster is equals to hazard times exposure and vulnerability divided by capability. So it means that if our people are capable in or prepared in facing these disasters, probably there will be at least less problems or lives to be lost or properties to be lost. So it means that we need to be prepared. Now, in Red Cross, we have several programs or services offered to the public for especially the young people like you to be ready in case of flooding. For example, in case of flooding, you need to be ready. So we have services to be offered for you to undergo trainings to be ready in case of these disasters or emergencies in our community. We have our website. Wait, lang website ko. Wait lang ha. Para hindi disaster. Yeah. So we have first aid, the basic life support, water safety, accident prevention, and other programs that you can be trained. Okay? So please volunteer. Especially the young people, we need volunteers in this, and also the other members of the community to be part in order for us to help our community members in case of disasters. Now, for the technical aspect, as teacher, I would like to comment on your presentation. Yan. If you're going to present the PowerPoint, it should be less words. You should contains less words. Instead, you need to make some just keywords to explain, and then also you follow the rules, 6 by 6, 6 lines, 6 words per line, and 6 lines per slide. And at least minimalists. Okay, so of course there is something wrong with, we cannot avoid the technical problems, but more or less, if given time, you can have more best presentation to be probably given to the community or during programs, especially for the yung risk area like Marikina and ano ba ito, yung Malabon. Yes, Malabon is one. So we can help them in this case. And also yung linkages. Make sure that all your files are intact in one folder for to be accessed easily. Kasi probably yung mga nyo ay kalat-kalat, hindi siya connect as a folder. So probably yun lang, technical. So next time, please make sure that your presentation is on yung parang talagang appealing, para hindi na magbabasa kasi mapapagod na yung mga tao reading kung masyadong maraming words. So make it yung keywords lang to discuss, okay? So thank you.
Okay. Meron kang sasabihin, sir? Okay, sandali lang. Very quick, sir. Okay.
Thank you so much for inviting me being a flood victim. Thank you so much, ma'am. For 3 minutes, I will see to it that I will be able to deliver my hinanakit being a flood victim. Sir, will you please, so that you will not be 100% focused to me. Sir, will you please? Okay. I am a flood victim of Cagayan de Oro City. Being a victim for 3 minutes, I am very much traumatized. That until now, I cannot forget all those things that happened to our place. I just would like to shall I say, impart my concern to the concerned group, to the disaster concern group. Please consider these concerns of ours being flood victims. Please, in the disaster preparedness, please see to it that in your presentation, in your concern, there would be 4 things to be presented, to be emphasized. One is the impact analysis of the shall I say, the disaster, the impact analysis, the preparedness, no? And then second, sir, is the response plan. Please give to us the concrete view of your response plan if there exists such disaster. Next, sir, number 3 is the recovery plan. For us right now, still we are being in trauma, no? With regards to this devastating effect of Typhoon Sindong, wherein it kills more than 1,000 of lives of the Cagayanons. The recovery plan, the response plan, the recovery plan, the impact plan, the impact analysis, and the last is the risk management plan, the early detection plan. Please consider all these concerns so that there would be a wholesome, no, kanang para hindi na kami mga second victim of the floods. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for inviting me to your symposium. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for that. Actually, I feel that presentation because I'm from Iligan and then part kami dyan sa Sindong. Okay, so let's move on. So that's one thing will happen when you implement this course. There's a one-day presentation of output of your students. Of course, during the project here, in this project, your students will spend about a minimum of 2 weeks in doing research, interview community people, and then, for example, if they go for disaster, they have to interview people which problem that they need to address in their community. So maybe if this will happen in your school, you could hear the voices of high school students on what way will these students help on solving the problem of the community. And then you were going to help them. Remember in the guide question, for example, in page 124, the disaster. So there's a guide question here, and then I reflect that after the presentation of the last group, there are questions here that was not being answered. So therefore, for maybe for the implementation of 2 weeks, you need to monitor what happened on how they answer those questions in the planning question. Okay? And di ba nakwento ko sa inyo yesterday on one of our teacher implemented this project? Okay? So they really address one of some problems in the community. And during their presentation, because it's a whole day, iba-iba po yung guest every hour. At nakasuot pa silang t-shirt. May t-shirt sila as a section on presenting their project. Di ba? So, some of the students invited their parents. Kahit na hindi sila ini-invite ng teacher, sila mismo ang nagsasabi sa teacher, Sir, pwede ko bang i-invite yung parent namin? Because gusto namin ipakita yung output namin sa project. Okay? So, nangyayari na to in our university. One of our high school teacher implemented this. And can you imagine your students are, di ba, are proposing a park in their community, are proposing suggestion on problems in their community. Would you like that? Okay, so good luck on your implementation. So, dalawa yun. Either you implement it in your own classroom, at the same time, you also train other teachers on implementing this course. Okay? So, masaya ba kayo pag ganyan yung classroom nyo? Okay, so let's move on. So that's the culmination activity for Unit 1, Technology and Community. In planning, doing, reviewing, and sharing, in one of the activity in Unit 1 or in Unit 2, one of the strategy that we have used in the classroom is this one. We show the slide and then we put timing in each activity. Would you like that? This is one of the strategy of a teacher. You could also do that, okay? Okay, so let's move on to Unit 2. So for Unit 2, that is technology at work. So in technology at work, one of the profession here is a health worker. One of the output of a health worker is the students will create a survey form using Word. Okay? So you will notice the skill here is more advanced. The skill in technology and community are basic skills. Here in the technology at work, it's more advanced. So here they will going to create a survey form, healthcare survey. And then they will create a pictograph, an interactive diagram using a spreadsheet. Do you know how to create an interactive diagram using a spreadsheet? Okay, can you make one like this in a spreadsheet? If you want to know how to create an interactive diagram using spreadsheet, you may want to follow the activities in technology at work, health worker. Okay? And also, creating a public service announcement. Either it is a flyer or it's a flyer that you will going to create. And then the last part in showcasing for the health worker is showcase. The next one is the engineer. Technology at work and an engineer. So yung mga trabaho ng engineer is they will going to create a floor plan. Okay? So yung floor plan, ginagamit niya ang Word. Hindi advanced software ang ginagamit niya. It's still a Microsoft Word and the student create a floor plan. Another one is an illustration of maybe of the building. So they made use of a graphic software. Another one is a project management plan. It's a spreadsheet. And for presentation, it's a proposal. Okay, so the engineer will going to showcase his project to a certain group. So you have here a proposal. Okay? The next profession is an entrepreneur. So the scenario here, there's for example, there's an investor named Mr. De La Cruz. And meron siyang money of 20,000 pesos. And he want to invest a business. So you will help Mr. De La Cruz in promoting his business. So therefore, they need to do research on what type of business should Mr. De La Cruz should engage with the 20,000 pesos. So they need to do research, create a financial plan, okay? And after that, a logo of the business and letterhead, and then a brochure of the business, and then a website. So the website, the student here has an option. Either the student will use a website using Word or a website using presentation. What have you noticed in this technology at work? What type of skills? Is it still a basic skill? Okay. So andun na siya sa more advanced skill. Okay? But the technology being utilized is not more advanced, no? It's still the same technology. And then, so, I also, there should be a teacher, right? Sorry. A teacher. So meron ding fini-feature na trabaho that is a teacher. So, a teacher will create a certificate, right? Actually, in my implementation, marami pong pumipili ng teacher. Because I let them choose which of the profession you want to do, which technology product. At maraming pumipili ng teacher. So in the teacher, ito yung mga gagawin niya. Certificate, a grade book, a newsletter, okay, a schedule of his class, and then showcase kaagad. Okay? So therefore, if your students are maybe fourth-year students or senior student, here they will experience how to be a teacher, an entrepreneur, and an engineer. Okay? So that's for Unit 2. Any questions? You have discussions on your table. What's your question? Do you have
Actually, we are much confused, ma'am. What would be the case, or what would be the case? Are we going to follow everything as from a teacher to engineer to for the students?
Do students need to do all the project in different profession, right? What you will do is you have to ask the student which of the profession interests them. At yun ang gagawin niyang products. Okay? Yun nga ang sinasabi ko sa classroom ko, maraming pumipili ng teacher. Gusto nila yung trabaho ko. I don't know. And then, I push them, no, hindi ka maging teacher. Tingnan mo kung pwede mong gawin yung mga engineer. Kasi super marami na silang teacher, half of my class. Okay? So, dinidivide ko naman. So, some will do as engineer, entrepreneur, and that one. In Unit 2, actually, since you have already established the routine, in Unit 1, mabilis na sila dito sa Unit 2. In doing the different output of each career or profession, lahat ng skill dun sa advanced skill, matutunan nila. Okay? Iba-iba lang yung mga trabaho, pero yung competency will be learned in different profession. Okay? Yes, for career. What do you think of that? Mm-hmm. What do you think of that? Any questions? Magandang tanong yun. What else? Yes. Sige.
we're worried of the time frame to finish this module.
Yes. I don't know how you plan on implementing this course. Maybe it's up to you if you go to Unit 2 or Unit 1 lang. No? I don't know how you plan it. Pwede naman. Yung oras nyo is depende nga kung ano, saan dun skill na gusto mong ituro. And maybe you want to teach it through this module. Okay?
So, ma'am, that means we have the power to choose kung anong skills lang po yung ituturo.
Yes, yes. So, any other question? Yun nga, challenging kasi yung time. And then, I guess this is the middle of the school year, right? Ang gagawin nyo kasi ngayon, isisingit nyo. Right? So, maybe for this year implementation, that will be very challenging for you. Kasi nakaplano na yung whole year, di ba? Maybe you have to think on how you will, which of those activities that you could still do from starting next month up to March. No, baka nga hindi nyo maubos yung activities na yon. And then you think about how do you implement that for next school year. Meron ditong sinasabi, pwede bang next school year na to? I recommend na hindi to pwedeng next school year. Talagang demanding, oh. It's because baka nga makalimutan nyo. No? So maybe for this school year, you may implement Unit 1. Okay? And then, the next school year, you have to plan, how will I use these tools, Unit 1 and 2, in my curriculum? Okay? I don't know. There's a contest. Do not teach for the competition. Okay? Because that's a different thing. We are not just introducing this to you for competition. No? Because if you just teach for the competition, ilang estudyante lang ang kailangan nyo. 3 lang. Right? So, remember the value of doing this course? Kung tinuturo natin yung technology literacy, na yung mga bata natin matututo silang maging technology literate, they know how to collaborate, and this module develop the critical thinking. Wag po tayong maturo for contest lang. Okay? Sana for all our students. Di ba? Yung mga pang-contest nyo, baka iba yung how do you train them? I don't know. I know you have that in your mind, but I hope we all agree that it is not only for the PLDT quiz show. Is that clear? I hope you find the value of this curriculum that will help you address the important skill in the K-12 curriculum. What do you think, supervisors? Do you think this is helpful? The strategy and the content of the curriculum would help you implement a student-centered classroom in K-12? Skills for success during your training as well as in your own classroom. Okay? How to train teachers and how to train your students. Pero discuss muna natin yung assessment. Would that be all right? Are you done with your snacks? Kasi ayaw nyo nang gumawa ng technology at work, di ba? Ano? Yung nasa loose sheet na binigay ko kahapon. At yung photocopy na binigay ko kahapon. So, hindi na kayo gagawa ng product dun sa technology at work. So, let's try to look at every technology product. There's a rubric, right? In this example, the example is a flyer. And then there's a rubric. How do you rate the flyer of your student? Remember, assessment is a very important thing in instruction. Assessment should be a first thought, not an afterthought. That's why part of our instruction, you will notice that, have you noticed that? That you were taught how to embed assessment in your instruction. That during the planning, the plan it, you have to ask your student to look at the rubric before they proceed to do it. Okay? And then, if they look at the rubric, for example, in page 338, in 338, this is how the rubric is being described. Exceeding expectation, meeting expectation, and approaching expectations. Do you have that? Are you on that page? Okay, good. So you have the different description on what is exceeding expectations, right? And as you could see, di ba may sample output dun sa taas? Nakita niyo yung difference ng exceeding expectation and meeting expectation? Please try to look at the two outputs. And then tell me why the first output is exceeding and the second output that is on your right is meeting expectation. Anyone could tell me? If you try to look at the output, one is exceeding expectation and the other one is meeting expectation. Kung titingnan niyo yung rubric, kasi yung mga bata kasi, you still need to guide them on how, what is an output that exceeds expectation. Okay? Anyone could tell me why?
Why or what's the difference between exceeding and meeting? We have set of ano diba, like in our do it phase, we have their sets of steps that we have to follow. However, if the kids would place more beyond the minimal requirement, then that would be exceeding expectation. But if they just simply follow and nothing more, okay, that will be under meeting expectations. And we know that na some of us, even when we do the outputs, we did not simply follow instruction, but went beyond it. Like we placed, others placed original pictures, effects that were not even given in the instruction. We only search it in under help guide. So I think that would be all.
I think the difference between the two, exceeding and versus meeting expectations, is that sa module po natin, there are challenges, right? Exceeding expectations, the student might be able to do the challenges that is, for example, not required but optional. Pero he was able to do that. Sa meeting po, he was able only to do what the instructions will say, siguro po, without doing the challenges. Siguro po. Sigurado po, okay. Opo. That is the reason po. Thank you.
Look at the meeting expectation and approaching expectation. So very clear ba sa mga estudyante, what is that? Do you think it would be helpful for the students to show this is the best output in the flyer? And if you only show me this kind of output, your grade will be this one. Do you think it would be helpful for the if you're going to show your student on what is an output of exceeding expectation, meeting expectation, and approaching expectation. Do you think it will be helpful? Okay, have you, anyone who have done that in the classroom? You give examples. And you also you ask students to participate in discussing the rubric. Have you done that in your class? You have done that, Arnel? Yes? Yes?
Sometimes I'm doing that in my class to motivate them to do their best so that they could meet your standard.
So yun lang po ang message nito. So assessment is a first thought. It's not an afterthought. And you should include that in your instruction. So you should think about, before they do the output, maybe you have a session in which you are going to discuss on how you will assess the work. Okay? So that is assessment. So that's all for assessment. Any question? Is it easy for you to implement assessment for learning? Because this is assessment for learning, right? And this is the thing that being encouraged by our K-12 curriculum. The next thing that we will discuss, okay na kayo sa curriculum? Are you okay with the SFS? Kilala niyo na si Skills for Success? Okay? Now let's talk about I have attempted to write last night a guide for you on the training. Pero hindi pa po ako tapos. Maybe I upload that. Okay, I'm trying to prepare a guide for you in conducting training. And I have here guide for trainers, but it's still a draft. I'll try to finish this tonight and upload in our Facebook page on how do you handle training. Okay? Just a guide. How many minutes for this? Use this presentation. Then you have to prepare this before doing the session. Okay? I'm starting to outline what we have done. Yes? Format of... To answer what? What I have done is I'm trying to give you a checklist on conducting training. Hindi pa siya tapos. Okay? So, for example, day 1. So, we are talking now change hat. Okay? Kayo na yung mag-train ng other teachers in your division. Okay? Tapos na kayo as teachers. Tapos na kayo as estudyante. Ngayon, iisipin nyo as trainers. Okay? What you need to do for day 1. Okay? So, I don't know if this is helpful for you. I will just outline what are the things to prepare before the training. What do you think? You need to do the following. Okay? Okay, number 3, ensure that you have downloaded the help guide on different platform or versions. Do you think this is helpful for you? Okay? And then, I don't know, nasanay kasi ako sa DepEd that if you're a trainer, you'll be the one to initiate the program. Am I right? ICT coordinators? Okay. Training matrix as well as prepare a training program. As trainers also, you have to prepare an icebreaker for each day. Okay? And then before you start, as what we have done yesterday, you have to present the objectives for the day before you do the exercises. It's still a draft. I will going to I hope I can finish this tonight and then upload that in our Facebook page. So this is one tool that I will give you as a pabaon as trainer. What else do you need? Okay na to, di ba? Pero hindi pa siya tapos. Okay, I'll try to finish this tonight. I'm just taking note of what happened for the past 2 days. At isusulat ko lang siya. Any other suggestion that you need in the training of trainers? If kaya natin to, here, you should have a pair and share, yung mga strategies on how to conduct a training. Okay? Yung mga ganito. Okay, you have discussion and then pair and sharing. Would that be helpful to you? Okay na ganito yung format on your trainer's guide. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. So we should add here every day there will be an assessment. Okay. Okay, so noted, it's here. Okay, that's the thing that you want to add? Wala nang iba? Okay, good. Another one is, how will you implement the skills for success for student? What is, kasi ngayon, ang inisip ko lang is kayo yung magte-train ng other teachers, right? Remember, when you go back, you have to guide teachers to train students. Magte-train sila ng estudyante at hindi yun 2 araw. Okay? Hindi yun 2 araw, right? So, we will decide now kung ilang araw pag estudyante. Okay? Okay, hindi yun 2 araw, right? And how do we design it for high school students? I have Okay, can I give you time as a group? Think about on how will you help your teacher on training students in their own classroom. I'll give you 10 minutes to think about that before I present my proposal to you. So, what I hear right now is you have different models of giving training. May I ask each group to write on how you will train the students. Maybe you need to open one computer with open maybe a Word and then write how you plan it. Okay, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. I just want to see what are your different models. Okay? Kasi iba-iba yung pinag-usapan nyo every group. One training model in this group, meron na sila, and they will share it to you now.
So we had a collaboration among our members here that the participants first we're going to select the officers of every club. Officers of every club, mga leaders. And then sila din yung magro-roll out dun sa ibang mga estudyante. Okay, yun po yung ano namin. And then, one of the problems that maybe it will arise later on will be the schedule of the training. Because most of our leaders are actually the cream of the crop of the school. So they don't want to lose any single time just to attend a training. Kaya we propose that the schedule is from 4 to 5 every day for several days until matapos po nila yung module. More on face-to-face naman kasi yung 1 hour. Tapos siguro yung workshop parang assignment na lang nila, ma'am.
Okay na ako dun sa idea na they will going to train students na magiging leaders. Sila yung magpipir, sila yung magme-mentor ng other students. I'm okay with that. Do you have another model of conducting school-level training to students? What do you think of that? For a school, di ba, may okay na kayo sa training of teachers, mabilis yun. Katulad sa ginawa ko ngayon, training of trainers. After this, wala na akong pakialam anong gagawin nyo. Okay? But in your case, pag nagtitraining na kayo ng trainers, meron pa kayong isang concern. At yun ang dinidiscuss natin ngayon. Para may uniform tayo na sagot sa mga ganon. Kasi that will be a big problem. Hindi pwedeng mahabang orasyon. Dapat ngayon may solusyon na tayo niyan. Would that be okay? That's why we're discussing it. So that group is proposing that in a school, pipili sila ng mga 20 students na iti-train sa one school. At yung 20 na yon, sila yung magiging leaders. At maybe yung 20 students na yon, magme-mentor lang other students maybe, no? Maybe dalawa or what. So that is their model. Okay, what about here? Do you have that? You have other suggestion? Do you have other suggestion? Will it be all right na pipili ng estudyante na iti-train? At sila yung magli-lead na iti-train yung other students how to be digital literate. Pwede yun sila, sir. Sila yung representative ng school, di ba? Students. Students yung pinag-usapan natin, sir. Di ba may 15 teachers na tinitrain? Pagbalik nila sa school, magtitrain sila ng estudyante. Kasi may problema kayo ngayon. Mahirapan na kayong ipasok sa curriculum. Kasi tapos na yung planning nyo sa curriculum. So this is an extra class. Kaya sabi nila, mahirap pang i-integrate sa klase kasi tapos na yung plano for the whole year, right? So that's why they will going to select 20 students na iti-train sa school nila. Are you okay with that? Train at least 20 students, sabi nila. Why? Ah. Dun muna tayo sa ititrain na 20. Will that be all right? Ma'am Mel, okay lang po ba na 20 students muna ang itatarget nila for this year? Ma'am? 15 per school lang pala eh. So okay na yung plano ni sir. Okay na nga. Okay na? Pero yung mga 15, mag-cascade sila on other student. Yun lang yun. Magme-mentor sila other student. No? Depende na yun kung what is the training model of every school. Are you okay with that? So okay na tayo doon. The teachers will going to train 15 students. Each school, 15 to 20. Sila ni sir, pwede daw 20. Okay, yung budget. 15 lang, 15, okay. Next, here. Concern ni ma'am, how do teachers train the 15 students? Yun ang concern ni ma'am. And let's discuss it now. Paano ititrain ng teachers? Kasi kayo, ititrain nyo teachers. Yung teachers yung challenging. Ititrain nila students. Okay? So, hindi na nila gagawin yung pedagogy na pinag-usapan natin for ilang hours. Diretso yun. Diretso sila sa student book. Okay? Diretso sila sa Skills for Success book. Okay? And this is how we do it. Okay, so ito yun. We will make it as I don't know if it works for you or straight na 3 araw na tag 8 hours. Not 3 hour. 3 weeks, maybe every Saturday. Special training. Okay? 8 hours. Next Saturday, 8 hours. Next Saturday, 8 hours. Parang ganon. Will that be all right? Teachers who will train students. Yung 15 students na nasa-select ng school na iti-train. Pwedeng face-to-face lahat. Every Saturday, 8 hours. Kaya nyo yun, di ba? Yes, yes. Okay, my dear, yung problem ng mga teachers daw is you will help them how to write a parent's consent on Saturdays. Pumili po kayo ng teachers na pwedeng mag-train sa time na yun ng Saturday. Yes. Yes, sir.
How about if it will depend upon the time of the teacher? Now, if the time of the teacher met one section or a certain section, for example, first section met the break of the teacher, why not get 20 students there to be trained?
Okay.
Free time sa bata, free time ng teacher, and then, or a certain section, you get 20, or 15, to be trained.
Pwede naman yun, pero sir, mahabang panahon po yun. Matagal niyo ma-meet yung target na matapos sila. Okay. 1 month yung... Okay. So, here, Okay, tingnan natin. May isang proposal dito. 2 hours every day daw. Kaya yan ng teacher na mag-implement. Raise your hand. Sino yon? 2 hours every day daw. Ma'am, sir, yung implementation namin last year, kwento ko lang yung implementation last year, ha? Sa Marikina and Malabon, merong Saturday, merong 3 or 4 na Saturday, 2 Saturday lang actually, yung nagmi-meet yung trainer and the students. Ang ibang araw, so I'll present this schedule first. Tingnan po niyo to. And then we'll discuss your another proposal. Here, this is blended. Blended yung training design for student. Blended means merong face-to-face, merong online activities, katulad ng ginawa niyo kagabi. Nagdi-discuss kayo sa planning on a project. That's why I really want to push through with that planning kagabi na ginawa nyo. Because posibleng ganun nga ang mangyari sa mga estudyante nyo. Is that clear? Kaya ginawa natin yun kagabi. Klaro ba? Okay, ito yon. Meeting 1, face-to-face, 8 hours. The trainer will discuss Unit 1 until... Ang output dito is until graphics and word processing. Yung multimedia and spreadsheet, overview lang ang binibigay ng teacher. Walang output yung spreadsheet and multimedia for day 1. For day 1, 8 hours, naisip niyo yung output? They will create the postage stamp as well as choose one activity in word processing, either flyer, business card, reference guide, calendar, or article. Ang ginawa namin sa mga estudyante dito, kasi ang ginawa natin flyer lang, di ba? Remember the autonomy of choice? Pili silang pipili, either flyer, business card, reference card, or calendar. So, bunot-bunot yung mga bata. Ano yung gagawin nila? Okay? And then they share their output. Are you okay with this? Naintindihan niyo yung day 1? My dear trainers? Okay? And then the teacher will just give an overview what is a spreadsheet activity and a multimedia activity. Overview lang, hindi sila gagawa na activity. And then the next one, within 1 week after the meeting, within 1 week, the purpose of giving the overview of spreadsheet and multimedia, dahil within that week, gagawin nila to online. Okay? Working in pairs, makikita nyo on how to discuss on what product they want to create. And then isasubmit din nila yung outputs in an e-group like our Facebook group. Is that clear? Klaro ba? So, the students there can also ask questions within the Facebook. The thing here, ito lang yung medyo challenging. Kailangan tuturuan yung mga teachers how to facilitate online submission, online discussion, yung mga ganon. Especially on online discussion. Kasi baka merong mga bata dyan na mag-aaway na on discussing their product na gagawin nila. Okay? So, yun lang. After that, di ba, you handle a class, or the teacher handle a class for this Saturday. The next Saturday, walang meeting. They have to do it on their own and they will submit their output online. 2 weeks after meeting 1, face-to-face na naman. Okay? 8 hours face-to-face. You will discuss the outputs that they have submitted in spreadsheet and multimedia. Is it clear? And then discuss the technology and community project. Okay? So, dito na yung ginawa nyo kanina. So, longer ang hours na spend nila. So, yung community nila here, since they are in school, so it will be limited to the community refers to the school. So, yung mga project nila is para sa school. Okay? If you want to create a math park in school, saan dito ang gagawin ang math park? So magte-take sila ng pictures dun lang sa school nila. Kasi andun sila, yung activity andun sa school eh. Would that be all right? So the community here refers to the school. Okay? Or barangay. Basta you guide them, kung lalabas sila, mag-interview sila for 30 minutes dun sa labas, make sure na safe sila. That's why, for me, mas safe kung andun lang sila sa eskwelahan. Kasi I noticed, because I handle one session in Marikina, during Saturdays pala, yung school merong parents, may mga classmates, marami palang tao sa school on Saturdays, right? So therefore, may time yon na lumabas sila sa classroom namin at nag-interview sila ng parents, ng mga estudyante for their project. Okay? So you think of a project na yung community nila is dun lang nila i-collect sa school. Is that clear? So yun yun. Yun lang ang limitation. If ganun lang yung time of implementing this technology and community within 8 hours. Okay? Pero kung sa totoong classroom yun, katulad ng ginawa namin na hindi namin siya in-implement for a month, in-implement namin siya for 3 months, then pwede sila mag-interview on other community. Is it understood? Okay, so 8 hours yun. And then you give an overview of Unit 2. Ano yung output ng Unit 2? And then again, this is online. Sorry, hindi ko nalagyan. Online na naman to. Okay? So, pipili sila. Before you dismiss the students, they must select one profession and do 2 technology product in each profession. Is that clear? So that's take home. Submit their output online. And then last meeting, meeting 3, is showcasing of their output. And then you may want to discuss guidelines on teaching other students on skills for success. 4 hours na lang yung last meeting. What do you think of that? Yes, sir.
We had a problem with the online. Not all students, schools have an access in the internet. And some of the students do not have even a desktop for them to work their outputs. Not all schools or community. Sa school namin possible, pero I think I've seen already our catchment area, kay sir.
So therefore, for 15 schools, baka may problema sa iba.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. All right, take note of that. What else? Thank you for that, sir. Ano pa ba? do you think you can help yung mga teachers nyo to implement this model? Blended? Okay, so yung concern ni Sir, gawan natin ng another plan yon. Kailangan matapos tayo sa session na to na may dalawa tayong model of doing it. Ano? I'll just save this as sabi ni Sir, hindi pwede, hindi doable to sa ibang school na may blended. So we have one meeting for 8 hours. Then let's change this to another 8 hours. Face to face. This is face to face. So let's erase this. Okay. So nasa classroom sila. And you will do, cut natin yan. So yung first day is until word processing lang kayo. Will that be all right? Second day na 8 hours, your target here is to learn 2 tools, spreadsheet and multimedia. Will that be okay? Okay? Excuse me, will that be all right? The second day, 8 hours, they will learn 2 tools, spreadsheet and multimedia. So, face-to-face yan. Tama yan, di ba? 8 hours. Matagal sila, I guess, in multimedia. 4 hours for spreadsheet, 4 hours for multimedia. What do you think? And then, they will only, hindi ko alam if kaya nilang here, the recommendation is you will only select 1 activity for spreadsheet, 1 activity for multimedia. Ang point doon, the teacher will not dictate kung anong gagawin nila. Lahat na activity doon, magagawa nila, but pipili sila saan doon. For example, in multimedia, ilang activity yon? 4, 5? 5. So you have 5 different groups to do the different activities. Would that be okay? Para masishare nila on what skill they learn in every activity. Would that be okay to save time? And then the same thing with spreadsheet. Are you following me? Yes? So, ang second day natin na 8 hours, face-to-face, multimedia, and spreadsheet. Okay? Third day, here, 8 hours. So, wala na to, right? We delete this. And you will discuss technology and community project. This is another face-to-face. But I suggest before you dismiss them on that Saturday, maybe you need to do the planning for Unit 1. Will that be okay? Para pag-isipan na nila for the whole week. Okay ba? And that's the time they can interview in their community. Okay? Pero yung doing and reviewing and sharing the next week na. Okay? Face-to-face din naman siya. Face-to-face, 8 hours. And then, matapos yung technology at work. Okay? Matapos yung hanggang technology at work. Will that be okay? And then last meeting, showcase their output to the community. That's the time you invite parents, you invite other community people. What do you think? So we have 8, 8, 8. Ito lang last meeting is para lang may opportunity sila that i-showcase nila yung work sa community nila. What do you think? Katulad ng ginawa nyo kanina. Bigyan mo sila ng venue that they will showcase their work. This is the last meeting. Showcasing of project. You have to choose if they need to show their work and technology at work. So 8, 8, 24. Actually, 24 lang. Itong last meeting lang bonus para makapag-showcase sila sa community. What do you think? 3 araw face-to-face with students. 8 hours. That's another model. So, tama ba ma'am? Okay na yung 1-month implementation? Okay? Ma'am, sir, ICT coordinator. Okay lang ba yon? 3 araw na 8 hours. Either it is 3 Saturdays na face-to-face, tapos yung last meeting, pwede siyang 2 to 3 hours showcase their output to their parents and to other community. Okay. Face-to-face yun lahat. Other model that you want to suggest? Ang isang model, blended. Face-to-face, online, face-to-face, online, showcase sa last. Okay? Another model is face-to-face lahat. Lahat face-to-face. Do you have other concern? Yung sabi niyo kanina, that every day may 2 hours. Mahirap yun gawin, di ba? I'm not sure. Isa-isahin ko na lang kayo para sigurado ako. Okay. We have 2 training models right now. Do you think your division can implement the true training models when you think about your 15 schools? Yes. What about you, Jen? Okay. Sa division nila, face-to-face lang. Okay, next, sir?
So dun lang yung ma'am, yung problema ko, 'di ba? You extend 2 hours in the afternoon before they go home. Yun po ba yung sa kanina?
2 pa lang, sir, ang nagawa natin na model. Yung isa is blended, 8 hours, online, and then face-to-face, online, and then face-to-face. Yung isa, 3 araw, face-to-face, and then may 2 hours or 3 hours for showcasing. 2 pa lang. Yung next model mo, gagawin pa lang natin. Yung 2 pa lang, kung feasible ba yan sa division mo?
Yung sa akin, hindi ma'am kasi.
Ay, hindi pwede. Yung out of 2, wala sa'yo.
Ay, pwede ma'am.
Okay. Next, please.
Both of them are feasible, ma'am.
Okay, good. Next. Checking. Kasi pag merong isa na hindi pwede, let's think of another model.
Could be, ma'am.
It could be.
Could be.
Okay, next. Vince? Pwede bang ma-implement yun?
Pwede po, ma'am.
Pwede, okay. 8 hours, straight? Okay.
Yun po yung module.
Pwede
po.
Pwede, okay. Next.
Sa amin pwede po, pero hindi pa kami tapos ng MTAP Saturday class namin ngayon, ma'am. Paano na yan Saturday class yung MTAP? At saan namin isisingit yung Saturdays? Baka after, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay naman din yan.
Remember, 15 students lang pipiliin nyo. Wag na yung mga galing sa math na kunin nyo pa ulit. Super na silang maraming trabaho. Okay, next.
It is possible in our division.
It's possible, yeah.
Pwede, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Okay sa amin po, okay naman po.
Okay.
Okay rin, ma'am. Blended and scheduled.
Yay!
Okay po.
Maraming salamat po. Hindi na tayo mag-isip for 2 hours per day. Feasible na yung dalawa, di ba? Pwede hindi na tayo mag-isip for the third model? Pag-isipan pa rin natin yon. Oo. Yung ibang model, so therefore for the implementation this year, we will follow the 2 models. One is blended, one is face-to-face lahat. Either of the 2. Okay? So when you train teachers, i-present nyo sa kanila na ito lang yung model natin. Okay? Para klaro po yung output natin na target for this year, na every school should train 15 students. Kasi kakabahan ako dun sa 2 hours per day. I'm not so sure kung yung pag-sustain ng 2 hours per day, hindi ako sigurado dun. Yes?
Kaya po na suggest din po yun kasi ang half day na po, so 1 out na po. So we have 2 hours.
Okay. Now, pero generally, we're talking about division. Okay lang? Okay na yun for the division? Sabi ni Angelo, sige, Angelo, please.
Yung posibleng mangyari po kasi sa school namin, in our case, ang klase po namin is until 12:40 lang po. So half day kasi we have 2 shifts. So at 1 o'clock, we can start already the session po for the info teach. So if we have 2 hours a day, ang uwi lang po ng bata is 3 o'clock. That is not very late. Kasi some of them goes home na much later pa po.
Okay. So yun. So posible. And by the way, nagtanong na po ako kay Ma'am Mel. Di ba you will train other teachers, right? And the teacher will train other students. Kayo din, pwede kayo mag-train ng estudyante nyo. In your school, kayo mismo, pwede kayo mag-train. And your students can participate the PLDT quiz show. Pwede. Hindi naman tayo sigurado na kung kayo yung trainer, mananalo ka agad yung mga estudyante nyo eh. Pero kayo mismo, hindi kayo pwedeng mag-participate sa competition. Okay? Yung estudyante nyo lang ang pwede. Pwede kayo maging coach. Hindi naman tayo sigurado na, di ba? And that's pressure yan sa inyo, no? So be a good sport lang with that. Are you happy with that? Na pwede na kayo maging coach? Okay. Other questions? Yun, gumagawa na sila ng model, oh, may drawing na. Alright. Gagawin niyo yun the last day, I guess. Yes. Meron pa tayo bukas. Hindi pa tayo uwi bukas, sir. Kala mo uwi na tayo bukas? Oo. Yung training lang natin, okay na tayo. My dear trainers, okay na ba kayo doon? Are you ready for training other teachers? Hindi pa tapos yung discussion dito. Okay na kayo? Ano yung dinidiscuss nyo?
Yung diagram going down to the division, down to the school level.
Okay. Oh, may diagram na dito, yung training diagram on how to conduct training. Okay, you will share that on our Facebook page. Wala nang problema? Presentation will be uploaded in our website. Training design will be uploaded. Yung pinag-usapan natin ngayon, I'll upload that tonight. What else? Check na lahat. Wala na kayong maisip na kailangan yung tulong on training other teachers. Okay, now. So, now, I will ask you to write something in these sticky notes. Before we end our session, I will ask you to write something in the sticky notes for 10 minutes. You are going to write what are your pabaon to your students when you go back to your classroom. The first thing is, what are your pabaon to your student when you go back to your classroom? Dapat meron kasi absent tayo ng 4 na araw eh. Absent kayo, ako din absent. When I go back on Friday, diretso po ako sa classroom ko. Pareha tayo lahat. Okay? I also have a class. So, I should have a pasalubong to my students. Okay? Write that in these sticky notes. And then the second bullet that you have in the sticky notes, what have you learned in this workshop? Okay? So, kindly distribute, sir. Give this to the other group. And this one also, please. And that is our parking lot. Okay, that is our parking lot. One sticky note for your pabaon for your student. Dalawang sticky note every participant. The other sticky note is, what have you learned in this workshop? Ay, sorry, kasama po yung ICT coordinator. That would be all right. So on that class, my dear trainers, on that side of this room, yung right side is your pabaon. Yung left side is what have you learned in this workshop. Okay? Pasalubong. Pasalubong to your students. Sorry. Okay? So that's our parking lot. Please post something in our parking lot. Oh, yan. Ipapark natin yung pasalubong and your learnings in this workshop. So you know now the structure of implementing the skills for success in the classroom. Yun ang request. We will include you in our Facebook group. Mamaya po. You can add them. Yes, a member can add. Secret lang yung group, but you can add them. So, i-assign po natin yung mga teachers nyo to add the ICT coordinators. Okay, for pasalubong, I will ask Arnel to summarize what are the pasalubong for our students. And then the things that you've learned, may I ask Sir Verhil? Oh, wait, there's a documentation.
Okay, so good afternoon once again, my dear teachers. So to summarize the pasalubong to our students, 95% of the group are excited to transfer the different learning approach in this input training of master trainers, and it is called to share the return of investment. So that's the summary of our pasalubong, to transfer the different learning approach in this training. Thank you.
Good afternoon. So, as I look the area of the things you have learned, and there's only one thing in common in them, that each one of us, of you, have learned the new strategy called PDRS. And I think that's really a new strategy, because I myself, I was then at one of the trainees during this EDP long time ago, so I wasn't able to encounter that kind of strategy. And it's very, very effective.
So that's all for the 2-day session. That is the Skills for Success course. And I hope maraming estudyante ang ma-develop nyo, and they will learn how to use technology efficiently. They know how to collaborate with peers, as well as they know how to solve problems. So, that's all, and thank you very much.